We choose to
This
go to the
country
moon.
is at war.
I have a dream.
We have opened a Patreon, so if you would like to support us even more, please click on the top link in the description. Any contribution goes a long way and would be greatly appreciated.
What we're going to announce today is that Mars is not the dry, arid planet that we thought of in the past. Today we're going to announce that under certain circumstances, liquid water has been found on Mars.
NASA's Curiosity rover made a fascinating scientific discovery when it detected background levels of methane in the atmosphere of Mars, which seemed to follow a distinct pattern. Although the discovery of methane on Mars is nothing new, as records dating back to 2003 show this, measurements were all over the place at the time, and Curiosity's discovery was the first one to show that methane in the Martian air seems to follow a pattern. It has a seasonal cycle, and it's not just random. But what is the significance of this discovery, you may ask? Well, methane is a signature of biological activity on Earth, so by finding it on Mars could suggest that the red planet could have once supported ancient life, or that it could be produced by subsurface microbes. NASA's veteran rover, Curiosity, made another fantastic scientific discovery when it found complex organic matter in a dried up lakebed on Mars. The material was found after the rover drilled into the surface of a 3.5 billion-year-old mudstone at the bottom of the Gale crater. However, how the organic matter formed is left open to discussion, but what researchers can say is that the organic matter can be one of several things: a record detailing ancient life, a food source for life, or something that exists in the place of life. Jennifer Eigenbrode, a biogeochemist at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, revealed how the discovery of organics in rocks has raised hopes of finding richer deposits of the compound deeper down. She explained how, if we were able to find things like fatty acids, that would be the first potential hints of life. In 2015, NASA declared that, under some circumstances, liquid water has been found on Mars. Claims of water being present on Mars have already been made before, but what differentiates the discovery of liquid water in 2015 as opposed to previous findings is the fact that liquid water, not ice, found in previous findings has been found on the Martian surface rather than miles underground, where it would be difficult to verify its presence. As we know, all life on Earth requires liquid water to survive, so by finding it on Mars's surface could mean a supply of safe drinking water for future Mars colonists, once you've separated the perchlorates and silicates in the Mars soil, which is difficult but possible. And the possibility of life on Mars. Just last month, researchers working for NASA found evidence of an existing body of liquid water on Mars. What has been classed as a lake sits under the planet's south polar ice cap and is about 20 kilometers or 12 miles across. The discovery was made using MARSIS, a radar instrument on board the European Space Agency's, ESA, Mars Express Orbiter. Although the instrument wasn't able to determine how thick the layer of water is, researchers estimate that it is a minimum of 1 meter. As we found out in 2015, NASA declared that, under some circumstances, liquid water has been found on Mars. Notice how they say, under some circumstances. The discovery of this liquid water lake on Mars means that scientists can now eliminate uncertainty and previous ambiguous findings of liquid water. Now comes the question everyone is probably here for. Are there aliens on Mars? Or is there life on Mars in general? Well, these questions are a bit difficult to answer, as there has not been any definitive proof, as of yet, to any aliens living on Mars. However, this doesn't stop the possibility of life being present on Mars due to the findings of liquid water on the surface of the red planet, methane, and organic matter found in a 3.5 billion year old mudstone. But this doesn't stop conspiracy theorists drawing up their own conspiracy theories of possible alien sightings on Mars. One conspiracy theory involves peculiar images of a rock formation oddly resembling the shape of a skull. The person who came across these findings, online UFO hunter and self-appointed space journalist, hell of a title by the way, Joe White, also claimed to have stumbled upon what seems to look like a giant mouse. Whether or not you believe in these theories is another matter, but I'll just leave this question here. Unless you were actually present on Mars, how can you be 100% certain? Granted, it could just be a simple case of pareidolia, where your brain is tricked into seeing shapes and patterns that do not exist. Or maybe NASA is withholding the truth about the discovery of aliens on Mars.